Doug Wead is a presidential historian and author of The Raising of the President, the Mothers and Fathers of Our Nation's Leaders. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks, Julie.
You know, Obama entered the White House saying he wanted to end the era of partisanship in Washington. He made early gestures by tapping Dems and Republicans for his cabinet. But the first real test came with this hotly contested stimulus bill, and nonpartisanship, well, it lost big time. Is this an indication of what the president will face in his first term?
I really think it is. I mean, he's a beloved president. He's popular. I like him. He's a gracious person. But that does not obscure the fact that he's the most liberal president we've had. I mean, John F. Kennedy governed from the liberal middle. So did Bill Clinton, who passed charitable choice, signed it 3 times into law. Obama's going to gut that. And even Lyndon Johnson partnered with Republicans on foreign policy. Yeah. So the fact is, yes, we like the idea of an African-American president, but he's a very liberal president, and that's coming home to roost right now for Republicans.
Was this particular bill even a fair test, or is there still enough goodwill out there among the parties to believe that nonpartisanship actually can be revived when it comes to other issues facing Washington? Because this isn't the last.
No, there's going to be many more, and I mentioned charitable choice. That's a good example. Bill Clinton and George W. Bush, 16 years, that was almost the conventional wisdom of the House and the Senate. Only a handful of congressmen and senators were against it, very liberal, and Obama's one of those. So we're seeing what Newsweek magazine calls the socialization of America. Some are calling the Swedenization of America. So it's not necessarily a healthy thing for the Republicans to roll over. They should be bipartisan in war, and they should be bipartisan if the bill's very clear and it's not a payoff to political constituencies. But if we're going to change our form of government, we need to have a healthy discussion, and I think that's going to continue.
You know, all but 3 Republican leaders against it say that this so-called stimulus bill is simply a long wish list of big government that won't work. And everyone at home is probably thinking, okay, if it's going to work, then show me the money. I mean, the American people are asking, how will $2 billion for community organizing for Acorn create millions of jobs? Yeah,
there's a little bit of a wake-up for us as Americans. As I said, you could say that Obama's kind of the Reagan of the left, because his personality is so gracious and he's so likable. But the big difference is Ronald Reagan governed from the right at a time when the American people were on the right. And Barack Obama's attempting to govern from the left, at least in these first few months, at a time when the American people are not all the way over their left.
All right.
So it remains to be seen how it's going to work out.
In a perfect world, this bill would provide fast-acting tax relief for families and small businesses. The president signs this bill on Tuesday. How soon are the taxpayers going to see results? That's all we really care about.
Well, it is. And then what's looming out there, too, and what's troubling for many is the amount of money that's being printed, and when will that hit the shore? So there's some concern that the normal political rhythm where the economy rebounds in time for the next election may not occur. We may be in troubled waters when all this printed money that's going to be given to workers who will improve our infrastructure and rebuild the bridges, that money, they're going to compete for essential services and food. That's going to drive up prices. We don't know where this is going right now, and it's probably a good idea that it's being discussed and debated.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. Doug Wead, thank you very much for talking to us tonight on the Fox Report.
Thanks, Julie.